Welcome to Watch Cozy.
Great to be here.
Tonight, we're talking about something really powerful. It's about taking control, taking control of the story of your own life.
Right. Like, think about someone like Quentin Tarantino. He's definitely someone who carved his own path, wrote his own rules.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's funny, isn't it, how many of us sort of feel like we're just living a life someone else planned out.
Yeah, almost like reading lines from a script we didn't even write. It's a common feeling, I think.
Totally. I mean, how many nights do you go to bed thinking, wow, today was just exactly like yesterday?
Mm-hmm.
Something's not quite right. You feel kind of stuck in a pattern, but you just keep going.
And that's the thing, isn't it? Understanding that, well, real change doesn't just sort of happen.
Yeah.
It takes effort, like a real honest look at where you actually are.
It's just so easy to get pulled into distractions, though.
Oh, yeah.
Endless scrolling, those little busy work tasks that fill the time but don't really move the needle.
Right. And meanwhile, life's just ticking by.
And that little feeling, that something's off feeling, it could really grow into, well, regret down the line if you ignore it.
It makes you wonder, how many people just keep putting off that internal check-in, hoping things will just magically get better.
Yeah, like wishing on a star or something.
Which, let's be honest, isn't really a strategy, is it?
No, definitely not. But tonight, well, this feels different somehow. It's not about waiting for some miracle. Tonight feels like it could be a turning point. And the power for that shift, it's yours. It's about just deciding, okay, enough.
Absolutely. It's like tuning out all that external noise for a second, recognizing your own power to choose.
Yeah.
Time to stop waiting for the perfect moment.
That's
or,
right.
Someone else to say it's okay.
Okay, so let's dig into this a bit. This whole idea that someone else wrote your life story, that you're just an actor, apparently that's just not true.
Well, yeah. What really stands out is this concept of taking back the pen, becoming the director of your own movie.
I like that metaphor.
Yeah,
Director
yeah.
of your own movie.
It's a good way to frame it, but it's
Yeah.
not just about, wishing it. It takes actual work, real honest work.
Right. And it sounds like step one is just brutal honesty with yourselves.
Exactly.
It's not some huge, complicated revolution out there. It's personal. It starts with maybe just taking some quiet time.
Finding that solitude, yeah. Getting away from the phone, the emails, everything, just thinking.
Yeah.
That image of just sitting down with a notebook, a pen, and just writing. Honestly, it's pretty powerful.
And forget those quick fixes, right? Those cheesy motivational posters.
Oh, yeah, the cliches.
Real change, it seems, comes from that. Sometimes uncomfortable process, looking inward, really digging into your mistakes, the stories you tell yourself.
It's so tempting to just avoid that, though, isn't it?
Totally.
Distractions feel, well, easier in the moment, like a relief, but they just keep you from actually moving forward.
But you can't build something new on shaky ground, right? You have to deal with what's already there first.
Exactly, the ruins. But the good news about ruins is you can rebuild on them.
Okay, yeah, I like that.
Think about Tarantino again. By all accounts, just a regular guy, right? But he had this intense passion, this drive to write his story, not the one society maybe expected.
So it really makes you ask yourself, doesn't it? What story are you living? Is it the one you actually chose to write?
Or is it one that just kind of happened to you, shaped by others?
And what seems to separate people who actually make changes from those who just stay stuck in the same routine?
Yeah.
It's that really tough self-honesty.
Yeah?
Facing reality, no sugarcoating.
Yeah.
Acknowledging the flaws, the weaknesses.
That vulnerability, that
Yeah.
willingness to just really look at yourself, warts and all.
Yeah.
That seems to be the starting point. It's not about feeling good about it necessarily. It's just about seeing clearly.
So the suggestion is pretty direct then. Tonight, things are quiet. Grab a notebook and just write it down.
Yeah.
Your fears, your excuses, the choices you maybe regret.
Let them burn on the page, as they say. It can be a way to process, to get it out.
But it's not about just dwelling on the bad stuff, is it?
No, not at all. It's about looking for solutions, not just listing problems. Stop making excuses.
And yeah, it's going to be hard. If it were easy.
You'd have done it already. Exactly.
Right.
But the key thing is you don't have to fix everything tonight. That's overwhelming.
Okay.
Sometimes just one small thing, one decision, saying, I'm done with this pattern, that can be the start of everything shifting.
And for anyone listening who tends to wait for the fear to go away first,
Yeah.
the message seems pretty clear.
Yeah.
Don't hold your breath waiting.
Right. Fear doesn't just vanish. It loses its power when you face it. when you act despite it.
So the only way to actually change your story
Is to pick up the pen yourself. Start writing.
it really boils down to a choice then, doesn't it?
Seems like it. There's no pre-written destiny just waiting.
Right.
It's more like two potential stories. The one you dare to create, that takes courage, and the one you end up hiding in,
Yeah.
The one dictated by fear and just not acting.
So if you've listened this far, maybe something in this is resonating.
Probably. Something inside is maybe yearning for a change.
And it's not just about chasing some fleeting feeling, like temporary motivation.
No, it's deeper. It's acknowledging that feeling of maybe emptiness
Right.
or just being unfulfilled.
And realizing the problem isn't always external circumstances.
Mm.
Often it's the internal narrative, the story you're living inside.
That's interesting. Yeah. The story you tell yourself can really keep you stuck.
It's kind of a wake-up call, too.
Yeah.
Realizing every choice,
Mm-hmm.
every hesitation, even staying silent when you should speak up, it all adds to your life story.
And maybe even more unsettling, not doing anything. That's also a choice.
A choice to stay put exactly where you are.
And the warning is pretty stark
Mm.
if you don't take the reins.
Yeah.
Other things will. Family expectations, society's pressures, your own fears, old habits, even just laziness. They'll write it for you.
And the result of that, you end up in roles, situations that just feel completely wrong.
Like a life you didn't choose and definitely don't like.
Think about people stuck in jobs they hate or relationships that drain them.
Right. Often it traces back to avoiding a hard decision earlier on, doesn't it?
Yeah. It just seemed easier at the time to ignore the problem than to actually face it.
But that avoidance,
Mm.
it just leads to deeper unhappiness later. It's a reminder that we're not just like one fixed person.
What do you mean?
Well, there's so many possibilities inside us, right? There's the version that makes excuses,
Okay.
and then there's the version that's willing to face the pain of growth, the discomfort, and actually rebuild.
And that feeling of, oh, I don't have time, or I just don't have the motivation.
Yeah, that old chestnut.
Often, maybe it's really a lack of courage.
Courage to face what you probably already know deep down is true.
Mm.
And to acknowledge that, yeah, where you are now, it's largely a result of your past choices. That can sting.
It can, but maybe that sting is actually the key, the thing that unlocks change.
Could be. It's like the pain you're trying to avoid that's actually pointing the way forward.
So if you're brave enough to look honestly at your flaws,
Then you probably also have the bravery to start fixing things, to rebuild.
but that's where a lot of people stop.
Right.
They get to that uncomfortable point.
And they bail. Turn back to distractions,
Right.
Netflix scrolling, whatever.
Anything to keep up the illusion that maybe time will just fix it somehow.
But time alone, it doesn't do anything. Without action, it just becomes like a graveyard of good intentions, unfulfilled potential.
Which brings us back to that idea of quiet time, silence.
Yeah, something that feels increasingly rare.
Those moments, maybe late at night, before sleep, when all the noise dies down.
Yeah.
That's when you can actually hear yourself think. Feel what's really there.
And it's telling, isn't it? If you're kind of afraid to be alone with your thoughts,
Right.
it's probably because, deep down, what uncomfortable truths are waiting there.
Oof. Yeah.
So the night can be like your editing room, a chance to cut out the scenes that keep repeating, the dialogue that doesn't serve you, rewrite the narrative.
You don't have to solve it all tonight, though. We said that. But you have to start.
Crucial. Because every moment you delay, every moment of inaction.
It's like someone else is grabbing your pen. Your old habits, society's expectations. They're writing your story for you.
Think about Tarantino again. Self-made guy, right? Didn't wait for permission, didn't wait for approval,
Just sat down and wrote.
just wrote. And that brings up another key point about change.
Yeah.
It's not just about adding new things. Sometimes it's about elimination.
Taking things away, like editing a film.
Exactly. You got to cut the scenes that don't work, the dialogue that drags. Get rid of the clutter before you write the next chapter.
Okay, so tonight, maybe write down not just what you want.
But what needs to go?
Yeah. What needs to be removed.
Yeah.
Draining relationships, bad habits, those limiting thoughts.
Make a list.
Well,
Then turn that list into action.
just one real step tomorrow morning. No excuses.
Imagine waking up tomorrow, looking in the mirror and knowing, knowing that for one night, you had the guts to be totally honest with yourself.
Even that small act.
It creates a shift inside, doesn't it? A tiny one, maybe, but it's the start, the beginning of real change.
You know, the difference between a boring story and a really compelling one, it's not a perfect hero.
No, usually the opposite.
It's a hero who Yeah, they're flawed, they're scared, but they decide to change the game anyway,
Yeah.
especially when it feels like everything's lost.
So the question really is, are you gonna stay a side character, a minor player in your own life?
Or are you going to pick up that pen tonight?
There's no going back to yesterday. There's no magical sign coming tomorrow.
Only tonight. This moment. That's what matters.
Putting it off. Procrastination. It just leads to regret. To that awful feeling of looking back and realizing it's too late.
Don't wait to feel like it. Decide. Now.
Because every day you wait, the world just keeps filling in the blanks for you, dictating your past.
And the world, society, other people, your own fears, they will gladly write your story if you let them.
They'll become the authors by default.
Maybe the hardest truth in all of this is, well, nobody's coming to rescue you.
Yeah. That's a tough pill to swallow sometimes.
The power to change it, it's already inside you.
It is. And look around. The world is full of people just going through the motions, stuck. Like zombies in a routine they don't even like.
Don't be one of them.
Yeah.
Don't end up filled with what ifs.
People who actually grow, who change, they don't wait for the perfect feeling. They don't wait for external validation.
They act because they know the fear comes first.
Right. And it only starts to fade once you actually begin doing the thing you're afraid of.
So picture this. Waking up tomorrow, everything's exactly the same. Same feeling of dissatisfaction. Same excuses.
Okay.
Now, imagine years pass. 5 years, 10 years, and you're still right there, in that place you dread. How does that feel?
Oof. Not good.
If that image stirs something in you, even discomfort.
Then you have your answer, right?
Stop wasting time. Stop making excuses. Tonight, get out that notebook you haven't touched in ages.
Pick up that pen and write about the stuff you've been avoiding.
Be honest. Face the excuses. Cut out the extra scenes that are just dragging your life down.
Because ultimately it seems like there are really just two types of people.
Yeah.
Those who are actively writing their own story and those who are just playing a role in someone else's. Which one are you going to be?
If anything we talked about tonight hit home for you, if even just one sentence sparked something, maybe leave a comment. Just say, I'm rewriting my story.
Yeah. And if you're looking for conversations that are, raw, unfiltered, that cut through the usual noise.
This is the place. No pretty illusions here. Just the unvarnished truth, hopefully.
And hey, if you're still listening now, it probably means you're seeking something more.
Something beyond just a routine. Something truly alive.
So take that feeling, that spark, and do something. Stand up, grab your pen.
Finally go for it.
Remember, you're not just listening. You're becoming who you were always meant to be.